Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, I'm going to tackle a question I get a lot on this channel, and that is, can you ride your e-bike in the rain? Although riding your e-bike in the rain is not an ideal situation, it can happen where it could rain on you when you're out and about. Well, in today's video, I'm going to tackle this issue right now. Let's go. All right, let me first start by saying that obviously riding your e-bike in the rain is not a convenient situation, but what if you accidentally leave it out and it rains? Or what if you're going through puddles on your way home or to work? Guys, there are some things you need to know about e-bikes. Most e-bikes nowadays will have plugs for their port for their battery. So that's the first thing. Make sure your e-bike or one you're looking to purchase has one of these little ports right down here. Now this will block the connector to your battery. Another thing you look at, now this one here is very seamless. It has no wires, it has no openings at the bottom, so this is an ideal e-bike. But some e-bikes might have exposures underneath, and what happens is when you're pedaling, it could pull up water and it could affect your battery or your motor. So you want to make sure you don't have any holes underneath your e-bike. Now, I will mention in many of my videos when I do reviews on e-bikes whether or not it is compatible with rain if it is a waterproof type e-bike. This is the Joeem here. Obviously it is because it has nothing open. It does have a little block right there for your charging port. Another thing to consider is the chain. Now keep in mind, this counts for any bike, whether it's an e-bike or a regular bike. If you're going to be riding it in water, what happens to metal chains is they will rust. A bike like this uses a carbon drive belt. So if your e-bike has a carbon drive belt, it is more waterproof and more water resistant than you're going to have a traditional chain on a normal bike. So that's super important. I've done a few reviews, actually 3 or 4 different e-bikes in the last couple months on carbon drive belt e-bikes. They're quieter, they're much smoother, and they last longer. You don't have to replace them, oil them, worry about them getting wet, any of that stuff. And finally, and this is probably for me the most important because I ride this mostly on the street. Most of my e-bikes are street e-bikes. Some of them are off-road, but majority of them are going to be in traffic. And when there is rain or inclement weather, your visibility is not quite as good. So you want to make sure you have a real headlight, not just a reflector, but a real headlight. This one illuminates through the entire body, and it has the whole top of the handlebars illuminates as well. Most e-bikes don't have that, but make sure you at least have a headlight, a tail light. If you could have blinkers, like this one has blinkers one side or the other, that would help as well, because when the weather gets bad, it gets darker, it's harder to see you. And safety is most important when you're riding e-bikes. Some of these e-bikes can go really fast and cars may not see you, and that is dangerous. So make sure that you have a plug for your battery, no openings underneath. Carbon drive belts ideal, otherwise you have to make sure you dry it off really, really good. And then finally, good lighting, super important, guys. So those are the things I would highly suggest looking into if you're looking to buy an e-bike or checking to see if your e-bike is water resistant, because a lot of manufacturers out there will say they are, but they're really not. So if you follow these steps, you'll be safe out there when you're riding in bad weather. Also keep in mind, if you're riding this on the beach, same exact situation, because you have water, you have salt water, you've got the sand, all that. Make sure you have a port over your battery, carbon drive belt, good lighting, all that stuff, super important. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.